beautiful, intricate, stencil piece. I call it more like a multimedia piece. I think that I'll start off with, you can't tell me I don't know how to blend with a pencil, you know, because even recently I pat myself back to the last. You see that dog I painted?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, shit, this is awesome. Yeah. I was happy about it because it was nothing really based on stuff. It was just
Which pieces have you impressed yourself most
on? You know, well, I love this. This is always one of my favorites.
The beaten path is not for
my favorite
That's why we designed
is
the new Acura MDX.
I think it's probably my favorite because of what it means and stuff. And it's not so much technically impressive, but I showed this in the Gallardo show. Yeah, that joint. Yeah, that's my favorite piece. But it's just because it was like a moment in my time, in my life, where it was like she was changing from pop art to like wanting to say something kind of thing. Even though I made this one first, and this was the first one I got, like when I was going to Nassau Community or whatever, like this was like the first one that I didn't have art classes, but I entered this one into a contest, and it was around the time that Libya was having a war with Gaddafi and all that. But like at the exact same time, it was crazy because a big ass tsunami hits Japan, and I remember just like reading Time magazine, and I went to like FedEx and printed out a bunch of like the photos from Time, and I like pasted the Libyan artist down here under him, and everything above was the tsunami. So for me, it was one of those situations that said with this piece is like, even though you're going through some shit, there has to be a moment. We're human. We're gonna sulk in our own thing. But for a moment, you have to be like, they have it worse. Like we can control war, man can control war, but we can't do shit about Mother Nature. So my whole thought process around that time, two things going at the same time was like, Libya had to at least for a second, like, oh shit. Even if it was a prayer, it was like, shit. Even though you could have been shot like 2 seconds later. So this one got like an award, right? Like the highest award in Nassau. And then the following year I came through with this, and this shit was like my favorite piece because it's called Shower Your Seeds with the Right Seeds. And the Shower Your Kids with the Right Seeds of Knowledge. So it's like a cloud of my favorites. Anyone from like Harvey Milk to Gay Rights to Banksy's here because he's like the loudest artist when it comes to visually putting shit out. Same with Shepard. Shepard's probably the king of that propaganda and stuff. And then there's other people who are like advocates for school, for women's rights, Marley with music, Michael Moore with film and documentary trying to expose shit. So yeah, so this is my favorite. This is a close one. Portrait wise, like I started feeling like I was getting better. That was cool, like with blending faces and light on people's faces. This is my favorite shit that I've probably done because I lit it on fire. You see it on Instagram when I did that?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so I painted this around like 5 weeks before Halloween, and I like really heavily put wet spray paint on the border and put candles almost like it was like this throne thing, and I lit it on fire just so I could get a cool photo of it. And it was just inflamed, almost like a little shrine. Because I think it was maybe slightly after I went to a Kanye concert where it made me want to aesthetically do shit different, not just two-dimensional paintings all the time. So I prefer and then the Pharrell one I have inside my house, it's like all cut out with a light bulb that turns on and off and shit.
So now you're starting to incorporate all these.
Yeah, and even these, like except Rocky and Kendrick's, I have Kendrick and Frank inside, and these are doors. These are just doors that if you want, you just pop on your hands. It's a door. So yeah, look at them. So I don't know if that answered the question.
I've noticed actually that a lot of your work is politically inspired. Has it always been that way, or do you think like?
No, it hasn't always been that way. What I did tell, I remember I had this interview with someone before, and I think we really we limit the word activism to just political, like because when Gem started for me, when that whole project started for me, I instantly became an activist for someone's happiness, even if it were for 2 seconds. Like to say I activated happiness within them, because I've seen their reactions when someone finds a piece. Like that's probably one of the most beautiful things ever, because whatever the hell you're going through, you find a piece and you're like jumping like you want the lotto. And I know it's not the lotto, it's just a free piece of art. But before that, yeah, it was like painting stuff for people. It's always been like activist based. Um, Instead of, because I do sometimes, I know I'm a pop artist for the most part, but to just be like called that is a little like off to me. Because like that's not all I do. When there's something I want to speak about, I'm there by myself with a table, and if friends want to come, cool. If they don't, I'm still out there for Venezuela, twice for Trayvon Martin rallies, making hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of signs until I can't read it. You know.
So you prefer not to be called the activist?
No, I like that. What is I don't like getting boxed into is just pop artists. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's something. Like, and if
So
you're
you
gonna
like the
say,
versatility.
I love that. I love that there's sort of the balance with that. Because there's artists, and I'm not trying to play them, but there's artists who, there's one particular dude, I think he calls himself Art is My Weapon. He's like on Twitter, so his beats knows of him, and all this shit.
Is he based out of Florida?
Sure.
I feel like he had all these like bandanas.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So that's a big ass statement, you know?
Yeah.
Art is my weapon. To me, it's like, and that's something that I wanted to say so much, but I was like, man, he has this like, you got this is his thing. And for a while I was almost mad about that, like, because when shit happened, when shit like was going around the world, whether you think you can do anything or not, like, that's when you prove it's your weapon. And these are the times when you're like, all right, how are we gonna like create shit for that, or give people signs or shirts or whatever the hell? How are you gonna use your art as a weapon now? But that's also false, and I realized that I think I was on the trip, because it could be a personal weapon. You know, it's your weapon. This is what we use for our own portrait kind of thing. Whatever we're going through, we lay it out there, you know, on the art. So it's not. I think it's cool about it.
You attack what you're going through, right?
Yeah. So it is your personal. At first I was like, what do you mean? I see you do nothing for the society, and I was like, it could be a personal weapon. You know?
Yeah.
That's cool. I get it now.
So how do you feel, like, what do you think will be, like, your motto? Like you say, he has,
Art is my weapon.
art is his weapon, like, what would be yours?
I don't even know if I like doing myself though. I kind of like it. I like people knowing what's up when it comes to what I believe in and what I stand up for. Because they're going to know. I think Instagram and Twitter, all that shit is powerful because I'm pretty transparent. And like, you follow me on Twitter, I'm probably some sappy ass Rick song. That's sometimes, or I could be very voiced out about issues in the world or just normal, regular shit. But I don't know. I mean, we're all artists. My weapon just probably said first. But yeah, I don't know.
Don't you hate that? When you think you've come up
You're
with
like,
something
shit.
original,
I
and
mean-
apparently the whole world.
Yeah.
We came up with like 25 names, and we swore we were like genius. We're like, oh god, and go and it's taken. Like, what?
Yeah.
How did you think of this?
Yeah, no, this, oh man, I hate that shit. Because there's artists who do super cool stuff, and it's like, man, I could have done that. Like, the one I probably envy the most, 'cause I think his stuff is so beautiful, is this Portuguese artist named Vils, Vhils. And it's stencil work, right? So he'll stencil it on a wall, a drywall, he'll put drywall first on a brick wall, stencil it, and then he'll chisel it. So it looks like a chiseled face in the wall. It's gorgeous. I mean, he's really like in all the magazines that really want to. But yeah, I love this shit. So cool. And I'm like, man, that's easy. You know, like that's easy to do.
Or like, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah. Even the other ones who go under the bridges, and the bridges are naturally dirty. So they'll do a negative stencil. They'll put it on the wall and wash, like between the spaces when they fill it off. The dirty marks stay. So it looks like a cool image with the clean. I'm like, man, that's awesome. I don't have no pressure washer, but it would have been cool.
Yeah, I think especially since art is just emerging, like I'm just saying, we're like hitting another Renaissance era at this point. So I think the tricky thing becomes being as innovative as possible and trying really to get to those ideas before somebody else does, or to make sure that you can do it better than anybody that can do it.
Wow.
Have you, like, is that something you've given consideration to, like, or is it just a natural thing for you to just expand? Do you feel like yourself expanding, or do you think that you're putting effort towards ways to, like, reinvent your
I always try to reinvent something. I think I have got a good thing with like new gems. And I never said I was the first one to do it. That said, I never really heard of anyone doing it either. Just like putting, and if they did, not to this amount that I've gone to. Now I'm starting to see so many people do it from them. Everyone tags me, and then people would tell those people, "Have you heard of? Yeah, he's really good. He's not the only one that's doing this now. So you know, like, okay." You know, but I think that the giving part of it is something that's sort of innovative because it's so taboo in the sense that if you want to, I mean, it's sort of wild. I think when they want to, don't get me wrong. But I think it's something cool when I'm able to just take a piece of it and give it to somebody. I reflect on it all the time because I'm almost at 600 pieces. That's like that I gave away. That doesn't mean like last year alone I probably made 100 and something that people paid for. You know. And then on top of that, pieces that I made for me that's still hanging in my home.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy.
How did you even get started on dropping artwork for you?
It was one of those things that I actually I was in the city and I saw some people doing those universe ones, those galaxies, with spray paint, and they were selling for like $20, $30 a pop, something like that. I don't know, like 3 homes more or less. And I just came home and I tried it, and it looked like a galaxy. And instead, around that time, I'm always my number one influence with art. I think it's because I'm like chasing that feeling that you get from watching them is spoken word, like nothing else. Like, spoken word, absolutely. Like music is dope and stuff, but like spoken word artists, especially some of my friends, that like influences me so much because I want to give them that feeling to get me like, oh shit, you know. So I started this girl from Canada. Now I'm cool with her. Her name is Najma. She's this Muslim girl. Was writing the most epic love poems, like quotes on Twitter or on her Tumblr page. I was just like, and they kind of like went aligned with the galaxies. Like one of the first ones I think I saw, the very first painting that Agenda dropped was a galaxy, and then it was her quote, and it said something like, "You have galaxies behind your eyes," or something like that. It's a lot better than what I'm about to say. And I will love you until the last star burns out. Like she said something really profound. I was like, what? And I kept looking, and it was beautiful. So for the first 5 or 6, it was her words, and I would tag her right away. So I put it in Barnes and Noble, and it was gone like. I'm like, oh, here guys, I didn't call it gems that way. It was like, here's a piece I'm putting out. You know, good luck. I wonder if anybody's up at this time. It's 1 in the morning. You know. Yeah, I wasn't even home yet, and all of a sudden, it's like someone took a photo, and they're like, and I'm like, real? Came back here, and I made another like galaxy. Looked at her Tumblr, wrote another poem that had to do with like stars, and put it right up the block at 7-Eleven. Not again. I could come inside. It was like 10, 15 minutes, and then someone again smiling super hard. I was just like, what the fuck is happening?
And how many followers did you have on
At that
Instagram
time?
At that time.
300.
Wow.
Maybe like 275.
That's insane.
And I had gotten that much because of the poets. Like this collective, they call it Strivers Row. And I saw them. I got into them in 2010 because I was watching this show called Brave New Voices on TV by Russell Simmons. He had like these younger kids who were killing it. So this one kid from Philly, Joshua Bennett, he's from New York, but he was in going to Penn State at the time. Joshua Bennett was there, and I'm listening to all the poetry, and he's running shit to his girl, to a father, and to his dad, and it was like insane. I started writing on that time. I was so inspired. I was writing so much. And then a year after that, I hear they're in New York, because later I found out they're all from New York, most of them. I hear they're in New York, so I go by myself on Father's Day to a show of theirs in downtown Manhattan. And I go up to him, I'm like, yo, I emailed you about making some art for you guys. He's like, yeah, that's awesome, let's do it, whatever. Didn't ever get a response from them, so I'm like, fuck it, let's paint it. Yeah. I made, there's five of them in the crew at the time. I made a piece, I still have some of them in the house. I made one piece for each person, and I was going to give it to them. Hello? Yeah. I'm in an interview right now. An interview. For a blog, right? Yeah, for a blog. Yeah, I'll go tomorrow. I'll go in the morning. I'm going in there, but there's nowhere to get something right now. I don't know if you need a pass mark. Nobody wants to do that. We got a card right now, but we'll go get something in the morning. Alright? Alright. Alright, bye. Mom lives in Virginia now, and she calls us more than ever now.
Oh.
That's the way. That's the way it goes.
I broke my phone or everything doesn't work in this phone. That's it.
Oh, that was what you were telling Emilio, and you were like,
Yeah.
I just broke it like 2 days ago.
Yeah. Let me get more. Oh yeah, poets. So anyways, I made it and I had a friend who's like a videographer, and we made a progress video for each one, and it would have like some of the poetry in the background. It's on my like, website and the videos, and they caught the attention of it. They were like, "Oh shit, we saw some people's Tumblr. Oh, we want you to come to our show in January of 2011 or 20." So I brought all the pieces, and then their fan base became like the 300 that I had, you know. But then it exploded sort of from there because it was just like I got even deeper into spoken word, and then like a year went by, did a couple shows, helped them design books, and I had my first like gallery exhibition in Brooklyn in October 2012. It was really cool, like an actual gallery, white walls, everything has to be hung, fill out contracts. I put the money down myself. It wasn't someone looking for me. I had done maybe at that time maybe 4 shows, 1 show in California. I don't know if I told you this, but I went to California in 2010 with Vito and with a couple other friends, and they stole all our shit. I knew all of our work, yeah. I probably told you.
Yes, you did tell me this.
Yeah, so like when I came back, I didn't want to do shit. I'm like, oh, therapy sounds nice. Something else. But nah, I kind of got back on the boat and started making more. But yeah, and then the gems kind of like, well, after that show was one of those moments in October, not the one that stole the gallery show in Brooklyn, made good money. A lot of people, like 400 something people came out, didn't expect that to happen. I didn't have a lot of Instagram, Twitter, nothing to follow. It was just my friends and family, and then more people came. After that show, maybe a month later, I just sat back and I was like, what now? You know, like, I don't want to be one of those constant, and there's nothing against them, but I didn't want to be just a constant group show, always constant pure live payment, just artists without a movement kind of thing, you know. And I love artists who are cool and content with that and who are insanely skillful, because there's definitely a lot of them who I look up to. But like when I put those 2 pieces out, and then the next day I kind of was like hungry to do it more, the gems, and I saw what the hell was happening, how like the numbers were like sort of going up, and they were getting words about somebody, not just an artist who's dope, because those pieces were easy. They were just galaxies, like easy things like that moon and stars with like words on them. They weren't even portraits at the time. Not till later, I started feeling like, man, something's kind of like building this is a little better. And then the words that you're inspiring, you know, you're showing the art of giving, and then that's when I became fan. That's like, all right, now let's really give them stuff. You know, I wanted to become like a movement artist.
I think I like that idea too.
Like I said, I don't have nothing against all the other ones who kill it with that. I just can't. Like I gotta do more. You know? That's why I go to the rallies, because I feel like I have to. Yeah. I don't find it as a choice then.
What do you think then? What do you think is behind the drive? Is it the message you're sending, or the people who are receiving it? Like, how do you even make that correlation?
Yeah, I think the people definitely keep me going, because there's times that I spend, like I say, money-wise. You know, I put my money into making gems, and I'm so happy that recently a paintbrush company reached out and decided to sponsor me, and they send me down monthly brushes all the time.
I was gonna ask you that too. How do you make money? Like, how do you replenish? You know,
Yo, I love it. Some people don't think I got a job. They're like, oh, you pay up. No, man, I work. Like, I also work.
What do you do?
I work at a Weekend Castle. Did you hear about that place? The owner got shot. That's long.
No.
Yeah, a Weekend Castle is like this huge mansion with people have weddings and stuff.
I know what you're talking. I reached out to them recently. I didn't know that happened. Though.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
I think I reached out to them like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if I could book a photo shoot there at some point in the future. Yeah, and nobody ever got back to me. That was like around the time that I actually.
I could probably get that for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been there for like 8 years, so.
Oh, that would be. There's
like,
one in Huntington Station, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm like one of like managing like ballets. I used to be like a waiter and stuff, but now I don't really do much. I just like handle some kids who park cars.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw recently. I did. I did a shoot in a library, but I was trying to get like something old and vintage. I mean, we went over the library because they were the only ones who said you can charge us. So we were just in and out in an hour. But yeah, I wanted something a little bit more classical, so I reached out to them and I'm like, I might cost kind of like I'm gonna have to invest in myself at some point.
Yeah.
But I never heard back from them.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
No, I made money after that. I do a lot of custom work and paintings for people. So I do
Okay.
like people usually like pictures of their like kids and stuff. I done a lot of those. Or people just want sometimes replicated gems as a gift. And the thing is, I think some of them don't expect it to cost money. Like my range is usually like 100 to 600 depending on the size, out of the format. So they're like, really? That's how much it is? I'm like, yeah, but I understand. I was like, I put out a lot of free, so you have the opportunity to have a free one if you want, or if you're lucky enough to get there first. But I am gonna charge you this. So all these cans, there's hundreds of cans here. I keep all the empty ones. I'm like a hoarder of cans. I have this weird thing that I feel like I'm gonna build something with them one day.
What, the canvas?
Oh no, the cans, my spray cans. I have so many of them. They're empty. I just don't want them.
Huge Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Nah, something's gotta come of that.
Those are full. They're still here. The ones, all those in that shelf, those are all empty.
So I was watching an interview with Michael Jackson, and some lady was, talking to him about, who are you dating now, blah blah blah, and he stopped her, he legit stopped her, and he was just like, you know what, I understand you guys are curious and everything, but I wouldn't, if Michelangelo was alive, I wouldn't want to know who he's dating and who he's trying to hook up with. I would want to know his philosophy behind everything and want to get inside of him, inside of his head. So with you, we want to know, what, how everything just started. How were you feeling when you painted that? How, what were you going through? Did something spark you in your life for you to be all right, I'm gonna be a painter, type thing? What was that about?
I think the gift has always been sort of there to create, and I love that. Cause I found at TheMusae, someone's I found a certificate a couple months ago. We looked through one of these albums, and I had this certificate from elementary school, 1998, and it said Artist of the Year. So back then it was almost predestined.
Yeah.
But back then I think I was from Shamu and horses because I lived in a very country ass place. But no one ever, and I almost would love to go to school and say this a million times, even if it only hit one person. No one ever supported that idea of becoming an artist as a career. No one ever is going to tell you that in school. They will refuse to say that. It isn't stable. You're going to go crazy.
You won't make money off of it?
You won't make money, and financial stability is insanely important, and it's stressful, and it is. Don't get me wrong. I've been through it. So I didn't go through that. As much as I was doing good in art, I never looked at it as an option. Through high school, nothing. As a matter of fact, I got a scholarship for fashion design because I was doing better than the girls designing dresses for women. Just cool, what I would like to see. And I left there, I went to Nassau, I went to FIT for a little bit. And then Nassau had the fashion program, so I went there. During this time, which I don't think I've said this to many people. During this time, I'm going to Nassau for fashion. A friend of mine, this girl, who had this misfortune of drunk driving and someone passed away, so she was in jail, right? I'm going to visit her once a week at the Nassau Correctional Facility. And I took a 2D design class during fashion. So one of my paintings came out super dope. And she's like, don't you like art? Don't you like to do this? Or do you just like fashion? And I kind of messed with me a little bit. And are you from Brentwood?
No.
See, there's a guy from Brentwood, I think he's graduated 04 or 05, maybe a little before that. His name is Edwin Bolta. He's had this brand called Check My Innocence and whatnot. He had a show in Bayshore, very small, tiny space, but his pieces were all over the place, and mad people were there. And it was everyone was showing him so much love for it. And then I thought to myself, walking in there, I was like, man, I could do this. I think I could throw a shot. And I had only at that time maybe painted like a frog in my 2D class. Yeah, but it came out really good, you know. And I took a drawing class where we filled the page with charcoal and we used erasers to bring the light out. Basically, anywhere you saw white, you could erase, you know. And I went home and I bought pieces of wood. All my first paintings were that size because they're cheap as hell from Home Depot, and it worked for what I was trying to do. So I would paint the entire piece of wood black, and I would go whites and grays, whites and grays, whites and grays. Same thing with that, and even with that, whites and grays, whites and grays. My very first one was the Jimi Hendrix one. I did the same thing with this. It's all black first, and then I hit it with whites, grays, whites and grays. Same way I did with the charcoal, and it was never with the intent of having a show, but I remember going to that one show and saying, I can do this, I think I can like throw a show. And then the girl in the jail saying that one thing to me like, don't you, like, are you okay with being boxed into just fashion? And it was one of those moments like, no, I'm not okay with being boxed in. I can't be boxed in. I don't want this. Like, no lie, a month later, I was like, and the human resource or whatever, I'm changing my major to fine arts. Because they're like, dude, you're almost done with fashion. I'm like, anymore. I'm gonna change the song. Not that I hate it, but it just plays too much. So I don't know if that was like the breaking point more so, but it was definitely like one of those moments. I think accumulation of all that. And then after like this was January of January of '09 that I started. I had like 5 maybe paintings, and it was Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Ray Charles, all celebrities at the time that I would just look at and try doing the same concept of touch. By like April, June, I had maybe 20 in my possession in my house, a tiny ass apartment, like with my mom and my 2 brothers. And then these guys started coming out. Oh my god, this is my bigger wood. Now I have, here comes July, and I have 32 pieces, and I'm like, alright, let's throw a show, I guess. Put a Facebook invite, like 65 people confirmed. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a little shindig, you know. And I was like, we went and we just built easels because it was like a veterans hall in Main Street. And I left to go get changed, and when I came back, there was 150 something people there. Yeah, which was really cool. And it kind of like started the momentum. And then Candido Crespo, who was like my big brother, he rolls up there, and I knew him because he's like a cool guy that a lot of people knew that were older than me. I was like, man, everybody knows him. He has like Wild Boy shirts, all this stuff. And he didn't really compliment me. He went up to me and was like, pretty good, man. And he's like, your first painting? Yeah, this is my first painting. He's like, just don't put the names on it. That's all he said. Like, I was writing Janis Joplin, Ray Charles, like self-explanatory. It sort of looks like them. You don't have to put the names on. I'm like, oh. And then he goes, how do you feel about going on tour with me and a couple other artists? And it was the kid who I went to the show at that kind of blew my mind. The one I was like, oh, I can do this. He was part of the collective.
Wow.
And he was kind of like the one who sort of shined because he had big, weird, abstract pieces. Mike Styles.
Okay.
He was part of the collective. So we call each other 5 by 5.
I've been to a 5 by 5 show.
And I was like the baby, you know, I was like 19, 20. So here's this 24 and up. You know, crazy, 25 and up. There was 24 and up there. And one more guy, Patrick Keeper, who is like a sense of genius, who I give credit to him all the time, because he makes some amazing shit. So we had our first show at Special Sauce, which is a skateboard shop out here in Huntington. There was one out here, and we were really cool friends with them. They were like, everybody, if you were a sneakerhead or any skateboarder, cool kid, breakdancer, because the owner was a breakdancer.
They used to have breaking.
He used to go there, you know. And I was just a skateboarder like at that time, and I was a big sneakerhead in high school and right out of high school, so I knew him more because I'd go every week to buy shoes. So we throw a show at Special Sauce, 200 and something people show up, and it was mind-boggling, and I ended up being the only one to sell a piece, and I sold it for like $400, 300, 350, something like that. A big piece, and one of my favorite pieces too. And it was and this is the reason. Dito told me that I couldn't do celebrity, like I couldn't do pop art. He's like, we want them to meet you, do something of your thoughts. So I had 2 pieces of elephants. I think I tweeted on Instagram not so long ago. and the elephant was crushing on this little rat. And the whole concept of it was, I was viewing it like metaphorically as women, don't let those little insecurities get to you. Realize you're bigger than that. Because in all the cartoons, the elephants are scared of this little mouse. Like, for what? You can just keep moving. You know, so it was like, that was one. Got stolen in California too. So, yeah, the one I sold was this little baby sitting in the street, and there was like stores in the back of him. And it was called Angie Help. And because of that, I ain't got shit. Adla, Brandon.
Dana.
Ooh, you
And what's
just
your name?
Abby.
Adam.
You just scared us.
Sorry. What up? Is the garage closed?
Yeah, it's already cold as it is. So yeah, that helps at all. Yeah, it's like a frat house.
Yeah.
There's one girl, like one room, and then it's the Gallardo boys, the three brothers.
Oh.
Yeah. We noticed it was a frat house recently because we had a Halloween party. Shit. We had 100 and something people here. Yeah. It was wild. And of course, me and Mike are like two of them. A girl I was talking to with an ex-girl were like about to like fight. I was black, I had home. I drank, but I was home. I didn't think we were gonna. So I just heard the story the next day. I was like, what happened? What? Wait a minute.
Who fought you?
You don't want to talk to me about? Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the 5x5 thing that was started because you know, told me let's be a metaphorical painter and I did a good amount without painting any celebrity, any faces, just thoughts. Around the block, there's a friend of mine who has one of my first pieces, and it's the tree of life, like Adam and Eve, and Adam and Eve are chilling in like water, like it's a hot tub, and they have an apple, but the apple's sort of like smoked out, and in the sky they see a bunch of gods. So it was almost as if that forbidden fruit was actually just a trippy substance that made them see different gods, and that's how all religions were created. You know, they're like, oh man, he's cool and chubby, he's peaceful, cool Buddha, you know. And it was like, yeah, it was weird. So
That is nice.
yeah, that was around that time I was creating a lot of things like that because he was keep pushing me, and we went on a tour to like St. John's, Natalie Sky, and Nicole. They let us use their loft in Manhattan. They had photo shoots to like have a show.
I think that's where I did the 5x5 because I didn't do it in
In
Huntington or Bayshore. Yeah, I went to Manhattan for it. You had to take the elevator up.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
That's the
I
one.
went to that.
Yeah. We were live painting in the center.
Yes.
Yeah. That was like the day we we didn't kick him out, but we were like, man, this guy's reckless. Edwin, because he was like, yeah, like yelling and like spilling paint on the floor. We're like, dude, this is not even our place. It was fun. It was cool.
Do you see yourself doing another 5x, like a reunion?
We've been talking about it.
Yeah.
Did we have something recently? Oh, we had sort of something recently at the. You went to that breakdancing event that was here in Deer Park, the train station, where Q was
No.
battling.
No.
Yeah.
What was that at Manifest?
Manifest. So yeah, we had a winter show at Manifest with the old crew, Styles, and we recruited like a young dude to come with us too. This kid named Diego was from Brooklyn. Well, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I would wanted something a little more concrete, but we had one recently. Like it was just a bad snowstorm, so not a lot of people came out. Like
Was that? No, I think it was this past winter. I want to say that sometime around the time we went to the jazz show, there was a show recently around that time, I think. Why do I feel like it's a place on Washington Ave?
oh,
There's a show in Brentwood.
yeah, the 10-10 show. Like you have to go like park in the back. And
Something in Washington, right?
Yeah, it's like was it Washington? I think it was like Fulton.
Who put that together?
You know, I think.
Because I remember seeing
Yeah.
it from home.
That was super exciting because we did all those different places, and then he was talking to some people from Cali, and the Cali people flew us out or had us come out to Cali, and we were the only New York artists. And to carry out, they even let us borrow a car and everything. When we were out there, took care of us. The show comes. the day of the show comes here, and then all the Cali folk get like the good walls, and they give us like the cages that you show like in schools to hang and shit. That's what they gave us. And it's funny because they had like an after party, and there was no Biggie, there was none of them playing Tupac, and they knew we were from New York, and it almost looked like they were grilling. So East Coast, West Coast, whatever. And
You guys are getting set up.
yeah, the show's done. And he goes, "Yeah, we have an art dealer who like deals with pieces. If you want, whoever wants to leave from here, and we'll keep you in contact." I was like, "Art dealer? This sounds official." Yes. And Vito was like, "All right, cool, let's do it." Pat was like, "Nah, I'm taking my shit." You know, so he packed all his stuff and he like nerved and stuff. I was like, "No, I'm down." One of the pieces is that big, as big as the Japan one. And I rolled it on the plane and then made the frame out there. You know? So, yeah, we get back, a week passes, no worry. 2 week passes, still not worried. A month goes, I'm like, oh, they're probably busy. The next month comes, this number has been disconnected. Website, no longer. Everything. And I'm like, and the one that broke my heart the most is that I brought a piece dedicated to my mother out there to show. And I just couldn't bring it back. I couldn't cut it off. So you know, this one, don't sell this one. So that one got lost out there too. I came back like, fuck this. I don't want to ever go through this. And I lost paying cents. Like, I had shit stolen from a car. A school who I didn't have a contract with just kept my shit. It was giving me my house piece. And Metropolitan School in New York. I've lost a lot. So instead of losing, the flip was, you can't really steal that from me because I give so much away now. It doesn't phase me anymore. But it was definitely one of the moments that was like, this sucks. But now, you can't say it was affecting you to steal something. Huh?
I'd say that's a pretty good philosophy actually all by itself too. It's like, it's a good way to look at it. It's definitely a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
So the piece you're making now was for.
I've read this. Like, I'm pretty much inspired by like a lot, and it could be personal, it could not be, you know, like with the whole thing that happened in Venezuela. It was one of those situations where I said that at the same time as I put out gems that are cool and pop art wise, because I do. Kanye's coming out with something. I was about to make Kanye ones tonight because I knew him and Jay-Z were performing at South by Southwest. So I was like, I'm jealous that I'm not there and make gems. I was about to, but the rain kind of like stopped. So last night something popped up on Huffington Post and it said that 5.5 million kids in Syria have been affected by the war. That a good like 5 million of them are in refugee camps. Don't have school, don't have good food. So Banksy actually did a piece, like when he put it on his Instagram. 2 of them. One, you ever seen the one with the girl letting go of the balloon?
Yeah.
Iconic. He did it again. Except he dressed her up in like traditional Syrian outfit, letting go of the balloon. And he did another one where it's a can, and on the top of the can it's like a flame, and it's like moving like this, and it says hashtag Syrian children. And I'm like, Banksy's one of the guys that if you really love being sort of revolutionary with your art, he's definitely that guy. And to me, the main reason is because of that wall he did in Palestine. That separated Israel. Like, that was one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life.
Isn't that
The windows, like
the West Bank.
That's what really got him into like.
Yeah,
like that made him.
Yeah, I mean that and the stuff he pulled at
the museum. Yeah. Wait, did he do that before or after?
He also did the Cuban,
It was amazing.
the Cuban thing at the park.
That's what I mean. I'm that way, and I've always been that way, and I never knew it. Like, let's say romantically, or just like when it comes to anything you love. When I was like 15 years old, and I really liked this girl I was with, it was never about what I can give her. Because at 15, I couldn't give her shit. I was working at a bodega playing basketball in high school, so it would be of how I delivered it, you know. So one of my biggest memories was like filling in the front yard with like rose petals and shit. I mean, she was 4 or 5 years older than me, so it was like taught me like, oh, dude, I gotta man up.
You were ahead of the thing. You were trying to get.
I was on a bicycle with 2 book bags of rose petals to her house. Yo, look outside. Where are you? Nah, it's just for the moment, you know? So since young, it's always been this thing in my, romantically, when it comes to things that I love, it isn't what you create or what you give, that's just cool too if it's something flossy. But it's also important how you deliver it. You know what I'm saying? Like the way you present something. You know, the way. That's why I think with gems, it kind of like we fell in love with that concept because it's like, all right, man, I'm painting, that's cool. Well, how do you make it different? How do you deliver this to people in a way that it's like interesting and share your art in this interesting delivering way that creates happiness in people? GEMS was never an acronym, but now that I think about it, it's giving everyone happiness. You know?
Oh, I like that.
So,
I like that. See how things just happen?
It's I could have called them whatever. At first, I was gonna call them seeds. This is like planting seeds. And I don't want to be like planting my seeds out tonight. Like I don't want to do that.
Sounds like you're
I'll
having
put
kids.
I'll put
That's what I
my
was thinking. Like, this guy's running around front with.
drop my seeds on your block tonight.
What?
What? Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, one of my friends tried to convince me to because that piece shower seeds like had happened the year before. Like, nah, but it makes sense because you made a piece. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep it with gems. It's precious, rare thing.
That is too funny.
The fact that it was gonna be seeds, hilarious. But,
I think it would have been more iconic if you would have called it seeds, because you would have made it more or less like your own definition of seeds. Like, you know, it's like a slang word.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
seeds is like, you know,
yeah.
that. And if you would have done that, it would have been like, oh, that's his definition.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Well, it's crazy, and I've sort of done that with like gems because no one comes asking me. Those who know my work, they don't be like, yo, can you paint me something? A lot of them are, can I have a custom gem? You know, and I'm thinking, do you want one of the pieces I put out? No, it's of my daughters. Well, if you still consider that a gem, cool. You know, now you're saying
Now
that.
your work,
yeah.
they're gems.
Other people will send me pictures. Look, gems, like a jewelry store, and you have the diamond. Or, oh, look, I'm wearing a gem. I get emails. I'm wearing a gem shirt. It's a diamond supply, like t-shirts. So it's awesome. Seeds have that cool thing of growth that I always loved about it. But I guess I uttered gems and it just stuck.
Yeah.
You know, and it just kept going with that. When I hit my first 100, it was really exciting. So I was like, holy shit! I put out 100. There's 100 pieces in people's homes.
How did you even keep count?
I numbered them till then.
Okay.
Numbered them slightly after that. Then lost count. Thank God for my Tumblr. It's like the art of andresgems.tumblr.com. Thank God for that, because I made that in the beginning. So I was just like, on Instagram, I would link it to that Tumblr. So now I can literally go back and.
Oh, right.
So there's nights that when that album came out, I put out about 15 of those. I put 10 J. Cole's, and I put maybe another 10 Mac Millers all in that one night. And then I told everybody else on the streets, like, yo, meet me at the spot. 160 something kids at 1:30 in the morning. And the cops came and whatever, and they didn't care. They stopped them for speeding, like, and the cops would be like, you're part of the scavenger hunt too? Look around here. So they're like aware of it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, and it's like total like love. This past Saturday, I was at Texas Roadhouse in Deer Park, and I was with a friend at the bar, and I asked for the check, and when the bartender comes and she gives the check to my friend, he's like, here's your check, you're taking care of one of our waiters supports you and paying for your shit. I'm like, bro. It's still so mind-boggling to me. But people don't know, like, this whole year has been the easiest, like, that door that's not corner.
Mm-hmm.
Some guy was paying me $400 to do that on the street in Manhattan. And I don't want to get in trouble. I got in trouble one time in Suffolk for something. So I'm there to have lookouts in each corner. Undercover cops come from both sides. A cop painted my hands. I spent like 23 hours in jail downtown. It sucked. So that's some shitty ass jail. Yo, and I was in like, I was in a holding cell with like 30 other people for like crime. You know?
For crime.
Yeah, I had the wildest anxiety. I felt like I was in a trapped claustrophobic box.
I would have cried.
I had to keep it together. I feel like if I cry, I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna beat the shit out of
Oh,
the shit I do.
Did you get your $400?
No? You did that shit? I got like half of it, and then I can't reach the guy.
Wow.
It's annoying.
So what's one memory that you feel like has impacted you, other than, you know, you starting off and like that girl in the jail? Like, what's one thing that you can honestly, you can be like,
During the jams or?
anything, like just I know it's a broad question, but
I feel like I split it. I like hold on to a lot of the memories depending on when, but I think the summer was like awesome when man, you know it's hard because when I did the Trayvon thing for the first time out there and I saw like 500 shirts that I had done, and then the next like 2 weeks later I saw my stencils in Time magazine. That was like huge. My name wasn't in it, just my hands and the stencils, but it was amazing to me. It was like something I've always wanted. And seeing all these kids go out and the kids show love, and the day of the Kanye West, seeing so many of them out there, and my friend and I were sitting on top of my car, just like in the on, and she's like, "Yo, they're all here for you."
wow.
Yeah, and that moment was like crazy. It was like, man, for real. Like, this is nuts. You guys care about art or about the game, whatever the case may be. It's fun to y'all. And like after every period of time, it's like a new breed of fans go out to do it. You know. Like,
Would you say current events has something to do? Because I realized too that like even when you did the Kanye piece, you did it around the time you dropped his album. So there's you like your subject per se. I guess the audience.
Yeah.
Like the most
depends on-
relevant.
Yeah, it's about.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's all really a piece of me and what I like, and I think that's I'm okay. Like
Yeah,
it's okay for me to be selfish in the sense that I sometimes do it because I hear a lot of requests from that, but I will make a Kanye one. I probably won't make a Wiz Khalifa one. I'm not saying I hate on him because I feel like I usually paint people who exude excellence, and that's it. Like I'm not gonna paint mediocre people mostly. Not mediocre, but I just the people on top who are doing stuff who are like influenced. Let's say ASAP. Everybody in their mama changed and dressed a certain way because of ASAP
Yeah,
Rocky.
that's true.
You
You
know?
brought up Air Force Ones again.
Back again, and just Tim, whatever the case may be. Lupita Nyong'o is Hollywood's sweetheart who is phenomenal, and I'm a huge movie buff. Like, so even that dude, Rick Janis, he's tattooed from head to toe,
Yeah.
but does high fashion. Like, did Lady Gaga's video, basically saying, "Look, man, I don't even look like y'all. How am I doing it? You can do it." Kind of thing. I loved it. Aja Monet, one of my favorite poets. That's her, the chair or whatever, and it had like a piece of her poem there. These two guys, of course.
That's it.
Yeah, James Baldwin is a poet from like the 70s, 80s. Cobain, most def. Like, if I'm gonna, that guy right there is Michael B. Jordan. He's an actor. He did Fruitvale Station.
Yeah.
And he's doing a lot of shit now. But I've always been skateboarding, and they have like probably my favorite jobs because they get to travel and skate. And both of them are very, very accomplished artists. Like, they get paid big bucks to do what they do. They're talented. They're original. Templeton was in a documentary. It's one of my favorite art documentaries called Beautiful Losers. And there's like a collection of, and he's one of the main characters. They talk about Mark Gonzalez. Oh yeah, me and Dino used to, when we were like our collective of artists, we would see that every day. Almost.
I learned about Beautiful Losers because I guess they when they collaborated with Nike to do the Beautiful Losers stuff on the blazers and stuff.
Yeah.
That's how which I thought was really cool. I had never actually watched that.
I mean, around that same time, a little bit after it came out, Next to the Gift Shop. Next to the Gift Shop for any artist made you want to be some street art rebels. And I did around here. I started putting up like a lot of my friends. Dio was an artist, and he was an art teacher, and he was getting cut from the school because they were being cut for the school. So the first people that get gut are the music teachers, the art teachers. So he got a pink slip. My friend Melinda, she got a pink slip. A couple other teacher friends got pink slips. So I don't know. And then I'll also hear that Suffolk has what the highest paid cops. I think they make like $100,000 after a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So I made a stencil. It was one of my first stencils of a cop eating a donut and shit. And they said, "Why don't you cut their pink donuts instead of something stupid?" And I was putting them on like telephone posts, like in random places, and they kept getting painted over. I never got caught for those, but that was
We
all
won't put
because.
that in the interview.
No man, they come after you.
They
The time I
will.
got in trouble here, it was something stupid. I was with my friend Veronica, and we were like, pretty girl, man, they catch you. Shit. Veronica's gorgeous too. And we were like having dinner and she saw the spray cans and there was like a white building across the street in big shorts. She said, let's go paint. I was like, alright, let's do it. So we go and painting shit. Idiot me does the signature. I put on all my paintings, that shit. A year and a half later, cops come to my door. Does Andres live here? Does Andy live here? Because I guess, I usually sign Andy. And my mom was like, what? Is he in trouble? No, I'm just some questions for him. I'm at work at Eureka. And then I get the call. The cops came, they looked at me, I'm like, what? They left the number. And I called the dude, the detective, and he's super nice. Yeah, no, it's no big deal. We can't do it today. Come next week. I have vacation with my kids. Come next week. We can talk. I'm like, alright, I'm kind of curious myself. Let's go. So I go to his desk. He starts pulling out pictures of my paintings. They would send a detective to any local art shows that were urban art shows.
Wow.
So they sent one to that one that you went to, like in Washington.
Yeah.
They sent a detective there, and that piece was there, the kid piece, the seeds piece. And they said they matched the signatures. So then they're like, bam, that's a big deal. I love the Jimi Hendrix. Like, I love the Jimi Hendrix piece. I'm like, thanks, man, I love it too. It's one of my favorites. Like, oh, this one. I'm like, that's the seeds one. That's the one. And then he's like, how about this? It's this picture of the wall. I'm like,
I don't know.
huh? And I literally was like, really? And he's like, is that you? I'm like, I mean, dude, it was a long time ago. And I'm like, I can't believe this. Like, you want me to paint over it?
You want me to paint over
He said, so basically, we just make this easy. It's $50 daily, $50 cash in the way. I'm like, no, you have an ATM. You did cars? Like, might be a little longer. We're just gonna have you in our waiting room. He said waiting. He said holding room. Makes me take off my belt. Handcuff. I'm like, for real? I'm like, holy shit. It was nothing. I experienced bad when we came to Manhattan. This was like a little room like this big with other kids who were there, other dudes who were there for like getting caught with a gun, getting caught for beating up their girl. And then they're like, what are you in here for? And I'm like, thanks, spray paint. They're like, you just got caught? And this was more embarrassing. You just got caught spray painting? I'm like, nope. They're like, what you mean? I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. They asked me to come in. They caught me from a while back. They're like, how? I'm like, I don't know. Famous tag. I learned my signature.
That's so funny.
It sucked. And I'm there till it was like 11 at night. I'm there till 3 in the morning. Because they had to hold you for like 3 hours.
Wow, that sucks.
And then Manhattan happened, and Manhattan made this shit look like amazing nap time.
Little time out in the corner.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So, let's see. We were talking about a question asked in the car, like as we're driving. Mind you, you're our first interview, so we're like, what else can we
I
ask
ran.
you?
I'm sorry if I ran.
Oh no, we love it. This is gonna be like our signature question that we're gonna ask everyone, and I forgot what it was.
It was something along the lines of like, well, there was two of them. We thought of two versions, so we'll just ask you both of them. But I know one of them would be the message you want to give to aspiring creators of anything really, whether it's visual art or whatever their craft is. But what's a message you would give to other aspiring artists?
First and foremost, listen to your heart above all things when it comes to art and creating. Listen to your heart and remember to give back. Remember where you came from. Remember your community. And I think that's like a big root of mine is starting here. No matter if I went to Paris or to Miami or to remember to give back always. And I think it's important because as well as you create for yourself and that is your personal expression, I think it's great to share that. I think we're giving gifts not only for ourselves, but to share with others. So I never stop. Never. You're probably gonna get down a lot. Don't stop, because creators, we stop for a second. It's like they're forgetting about us, And no one wants to be forgotten. You want to be remembered. You want to be legends. At least I do. I don't. I'm in it and I do what I do because I want to impact people. I think you should find it important to be influential. Why not? Like, what are you doing it for? Influence people, inspire people.
And what is what's something that you, and then I guess the other question would be, what's something that you want your audience to know about you?
That's hard. I'm so transparent that it's hard. What don't you know about me? Man, I love them. That I love hard at the end of the day. I think that's my biggest thing. They know anything about me is that he loves extremely hard, and that means with everything that I'm passionate about. I love just extremely. Yeah, that's good.
Oh, that was so nice. Okay, so I think that will be a wrap for our first interview.
We're really grateful that it's
We
you
were
actually.
Yeah, because we were literally like my camera broke and everything, and then we were gonna do some other stuff, and then I'm like,